Hey, I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel.
This is the Didn't Anyone Mention podcast. What do you got for me today?
I guess, yeah. Have you ever heard of an amusement park called Pike Amusement Park in Long Beach, California? More specifically, an attraction in there called Laugh in the Dark. Never heard of anything like that?
No. I'm not like a huge amusement park person.
Have you been to a lot of them? I've been to Six Flags once. I can't remember which one. And then I've been to Silverwood in northern Idaho.
And that's it?
I think those are the only two.
Have you been to Lagoon?
Nope.
I've been to Six Flags. I've been to... I think I've been to 2 Six Flags. Does SeaWorld count as one of them?
I think so.
Busch Gardens.
What the fuck is Busch Gardens? Is it a strip club?
No, it's like another, it's an amusement park in Florida. I've been to SeaWorld in Florida, and I've been to California. And then I've been, obviously, here, Silverwood, and then Lagoon.
So, you've just been to 4 times as many as I have?
Yeah, so, I don't know. They're just, they're fun, but, I'm not a big, scary ride person. Like the ones that drop.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I know that.
Yeah.
You ever found a body in one?
No, I feel like I would have told you if I did.
Oh, okay. Just wondering. Because this person did. So, I'm going to set the whole scene up right now. Because it's kind of hard to describe. So, here's the scene. Okay? Imagine this.
Okay.
It's a warm spring day in Long Beach, California.
Long Beach.
We've been there. We've been to Long Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice spring day. It's warm. The sun is shining, right? And you're on set at the amusement park, at Laugh in the Dark specifically, to film a scene for the $6 Million Man. You ever heard of that movie? It's an older movie.
Sounds...
I've never seen it.
He's like a biometric guy?
No, I think it's I don't know. Is that... you might be right. Actually, we should probably look it up, huh? What is the $6 Million Man? I've never seen it. Okay, we'll be right back.
So, we did look it up, and Steve Austin is an astronaut who was injured from his spaceship, and yes, with a government surgery, he becomes cyborg-esque.
Sam was right. Cool. So, I probably should have looked at what it was. Anyways, so, okay, back to it. Nice spring summer day. You're on set to film this scene. Your whole crew is there. You're on site at the Laugh in the Dark ride. So it's a spooky ride. Just to give you more description on what this is.
I figured with the name.
Yeah, so it's a spooky ride in which you go through on a seated roller coaster deal. It's not really a roller coaster, but you just follow tracks.
Yeah.
Right? And things jump out at you, and it's spooky. It's scary. I don't know why people go on those things. Because that shit creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, like fun houses. I went to Lagoon when it was Scary Lagoon. And they had 10 fun houses. And oh my gosh, I just barely remember them because I'm pretty sure I blacked out because I was too scared to go into so many of them. I was like, yeah.
Did I ever tell you the story of the corn stalk at the Haunted World?
What do you mean?
No, it wasn't Haunted World. It was
just the regular scary corn maze.
It is by far one of the funniest stories that I have. And if you stick around to the end, I will tell you the story.
Because Miguel cries every single time he says it.
It is so... I'll try to hold it in this time. It is so funny, dude. It is unbelievable. Anyways, we're getting off topic here. I'll tell it at the end. So... so it's a spooky ride to go through. Things jump out at you, but people, the whole crew, just for fun, before the whole set started, before they started filming, they decided to go through this ride once. And at one point, halfway through it, everybody started noticing this really bad smell, but they didn't think anything of it. Right? You don't think anything of it. Nobody really goes to investigate, so you're not going to go investigate, right?
Bystander effect.
Yeah, you continue on. Okay, nice spring summer day. It's beautiful out. Now you're getting set up. You're ready to roll. You got Steve Austin there ready, and you hear action. They say whatever the fuck the lines are. I don't know what they're saying. and then the director calls for a cut. Okay. Now, Sam, you're the director's assistant, and he says, "Hey, Sam, can you go move that mannequin in the back? I don't like the way it's in the shot. Just move it off camera." And you go, "Sure thing." So you start walking over that way, and you get closer and closer to the mannequin, and that smell is right back at you.
It's ripe.
It's ripe, right on you. And you reach your arm out to grab the mannequin, and you're thinking, "Man, this smells like really bad over here. What the hell?" Anyways, you push through it because, your boss asked you to move the mannequin, and you grab the arm, go to pull it, and the whole arm pops off. And you realize you see bone and muscle tissue.
Do you know how long a person has to be there for it to decompose like that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I just want to... Are you going to go into it?
Yeah, yes. So.
Because it's already past rigor mortis, so...
Very past rigor mortis.
We double checked. It is rigor mortis. There is 4 stages, though, of mortis.
Of mortis.
So, polar mortis, where the skin pales. And then there is algor mortis, where the body is cold. And then the third one is rigor mortis, which is most common where everything's stiff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is livor mortis, which is where that's how they can tell how people were killed or something, or how they died because of how the blood pools in the body.
Interesting.
Yeah, but fun fact, learned that from our trusty gals over at Morbid, because one of them is an autopsy technician.
What a wild job.
I know. I don't know how she would do that.
Me either. But, anyways, back to the story. How did this guy end up here?
Yeah, and also, who can just leave him there that long?
Yeah. So, first and foremost, this fella's name is Elmer McCurdy.
He's McHurtin now.
McCurdy, not... Oh, you're saying McHurdy.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a good one. So, through and through, he was a terrible criminal, terrible bank robber. Got caught in a gunfight, and then his body and corpse just kind of traded around.
What do you mean?
We'll get there.
Wait.
Let's just go through I have a little bit of his background.
Okay, why does it sound...
Well, if it sounds familiar at one point, just jump in, okay? So, Elmer had a really rough life. He was born in 1880 from his 17-year-old mom. He never knew his dad, and neither did she. She didn't know her husband, or not her husband, her...
I was gonna say,
her baby daddy, I guess is what it'd be. And his mom gave him away to her sister, and let them raise a child to avoid the stigma of an illegitimate child.
A bastard.
A bastard child.
An illegitimate, but yet she's a teenager.
Yeah, but without a husband.
Oh, but she would have had a husband. It would have been fine.
I guess so.
Yeesh.
So, that pretty much was his first 12 years of life. And when his mom/aunt, because he thought he was his aunt his whole time, finally told him the truth about who his parents were, he went rebellious mode. And when he started turning 14, 15, he began to drink heavy.
Did he kill people?
No.
Okay. Just curious.
No, he didn't kill people. But in 1900, when he was 20, he lost all of the adults in his life. Within 2 months. They all just died.
Yeesh.
And that sent him on a path, and he traveled down a dark path. And he just went around hopping city to city, getting into more trouble everywhere he went. Mm-hmm. He worked as a plumber. That he was trained by his grandpa before he passed away.
Giving tradesmen's a bad rep.
I know, dude. But he couldn't hold anything down because he had a heavy drinking problem.
I was going to say, it sounds like he has abuse problem.
Yeah, but he joined the army, and he was in it for a long time. I think till about 1911, I think that sounds right. November 7th of 1911 is when he was honorably discharged.
Mm-hmm.
12 days later, he was arrested. After he got out of the military, or the army. Okay, and he was arrested for possession. This is my favorite part of this whole story. He was arrested for possession of burglary paraphernalia. So like chisels, hacksaws, funnels.
You could get in trouble for that?
I guess back in the day. Nitroglycerin. So in the army, he was a trained nitroglycerin guy. So it's explosives.
Mm-hmm.
Gunpowder, and he had money sacks. Money sacks.
Oh, because they kept money in sacks
back in the day.
Back in the day, instead of dual control.
Yeah. Anyways, for 3 months, he was in the court system going to trial. January of the following year,
okay.
He told the jury that he was inventing a machine gun, and they all were like, sounds about right, and they voted him not guilty. So that's my favorite part of that whole thing.
Like he was saying that all that stuff was for... Oh gosh.
I know,
Were
right?
we in a war? I'm guessing we were in a war.
No, I think that was 3 years before World War One. I don't know if we were in a war. I know we just had come out of the Spanish flu.
Maybe that's what, I don't know. But
you gotta shoot the Spanish with the Spanish flu.
Stop.
I don't know.
I mean, guns, there wasn't a ton of... I mean, there was guns, but if you're trying to make a machine gun, I think that's they'd be like, wow, America and their guns, am I right?
Yeah. The Gatling gun, when was that invented?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Like a minigun?
Like a pistol?
We're moving on.
What's a minigun?
It's like a machine gun?
Well, then why isn't it... You just calling it a machine gun? Why is it a minigun?
You ever seen the video? It's like you hold it with two arms like this, and it goes... And it shoots really fast.
Yeah.
And it
has like the cord.
Well, that's a type of machine gun, but it's like it spins in a circle.
Yeah, and it has like a cord of bullets.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's a lot of machine guns like that now, but there's like a Gatling gun, which was one of the first that shot little BBs. Well, they're not small. They were like marble sized, and it spun in a circle, and it just reloaded. One of the first machine guns, I think. If you're a gun fanatic listening, I don't know the truth. Anyways, so they voted him not guilty, and he was a really bad criminal.
Like he just was bad at it, or he was...
Bad at it.
Okay.
like really bad at it. It was pretty comical.
That's awesome.
In one instance, he knew a train had a safe with $4,000 in it. And he stopped the train successfully. Mm-hmm. He even found the safe. But when he used nitroglycerin, right, he was trained in it, mm-hmm. the explosive melted most of the coins in it. But he managed to get $100 to $500 in silver coins. It's about $3,000 in today's money.
Oh no!
But the robbery that killed him some days later was a train robbery. Oh wait, yes, the robbery that killed him had a stack of cash in it worth $400,000.
That's a pretty good amount back then.
Yeah, I don't know how much that's worth now.
Well, if you said 5 was about 3.
I said $100 was $3,000.
Oh, so then just do that. Math. I don't know how to do that math.
I don't know.
Okay, let me pause. I'll do it.
Okay. Sam's going to do the math. Well, I think Sam's a genius because she just did it in like 2 fucking seconds. But
I don't know if it's right. I'm guesstimating, but it seems like 12 million.
Yeah. Decent little chunk of change.
12 million's pretty good, and I don't know why anywhere would have that much, like a train would have that much on hand.
It was a royal train.
Oh.
Royal train, right?
Fancy, but like you're kind of dumb for carrying around $12 million.
Yeah, I agree. But at the time, he had accomplices working with him. He sent the accomplices to go get this train.
Oh man!
They stopped the wrong train.
Of course.
They still boarded the train, stole everything they could. They stole $46, some whiskey, a revolver, a coat, and a watch. And this is also my other favorite part. A newspaper came out the next day saying that was the smallest robbery in train history. And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then some days later, he was reading the paper and he got irritated by it and he wanted to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow his name was already tied to that robbery, and they put out a $2,000 reward for his capture. And on October 7th, he woke up half drunk and he heard people rustling around the barn that he spent the night at, and went into a whole shootout with the police. And they never saw him. They don't know who killed him because he was shooting just out.
Oh, okay.
But somebody ended up shooting him dead in the chest, and that one shot killed him. Now,
I was gonna say, but homeboy's body was just bloop, bloop, bloop.
right, so they shot him in the chest, and then they took him to, where is it where they embalm you? What's that called? You remember that? I don't know what it's called.
The morgue?
Is that the morgue?
Or I guess it's a funeral home.
Okay, they took him to a funeral home. They sent out like, hey, we have Elmer McCurdy here. Somebody come claim
him, yeah.
Nobody claimed him.
I mean, nobody could, right? His
No.
whole family was dead.
Right. Nobody claimed him, and the mortician refused to bury or release the body until he was paid for his services.
Well, duh.
Right?
He's like, bro,
So,
this ain't free.
instead, the mortician decided to exhibit McCurdy's body and make a profit. And he would charge people a nickel into McCurdy's mouth to take a picture with him, or...
Into his mouth?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Like...
Oh, you put the nickel... Okay, I remember this part. Okay, yeah, you put the nickel in the mouth to go see him.
Yeah, and take a picture with him, or just see him, really. And he became actually pretty popular. So you remember this part?
Yeah, I think it was... I want to say it was a morbid episode. They were, like, talking about, like, weird things done with, like, body or something, like a body part or something.
Yeah. So they dressed him in street clothes, placed a rifle in his hands, and stood him in the corner of the funeral home. And I think they called him the bandit that never gave up, or something like that.
Oh, this poor guy, dude.
So, and then one day, some guy came and claimed it was his brother. And Johnson was like, "Hell yeah, pay me, and we'll send him to San Francisco."
Yeah.
The guys who were it, they did not know who the hell he was.
Mm-mm.
They were a traveling circus.
Mm-hmm.
And they used his body to make a profit.
It sounds, he's like, somebody else is already doing it. I don't want to do it.
So they took him around, again, setting him up for exhibition.
That's so savage, dude.
Dude, it is. And then, after the circus was done with him, they sold him to a Louis Sonny. And he was a traveling museum of crime of wax replicas. And so he was in this whole gallery. And then after Sonny died in 1949, taking into account this was 30 years after he's already dead. 1949, the corpse was placed in a storage in Los Angeles. And then in 1964, 15 years later, Sonny's son, Dan, lent the corpse to filmmaker David F. Friedman, and he actually ended up in a movie appearance, briefly, on the film She Freak.
Dang.
And then in 1968, Dan sold the body, along with other wax figures, for $10,000 to Spoonie Singh, the owner of the Hollywood Wax Museum. And then Singh had bought the figures for two Canadian men who exhibited them at a show at Mount Rushmore. While being exhibited there, the corpse sustained damage in a windstorm. The tips of the ears, along with the fingers and toes, were blown off.
Jesus.
I know. And the men eventually returned the corpse back to Singh, who decided that it looked too gruesome and not lifelike enough for the exhibit. So Singh sold it to Ed Learsh, part owner of the Pike, an amusement park in Long Beach, California. And then 10 years after that is when the arm popped off during a movie shooting of The $6 Million Man.
Man, I remember... I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember he became, like... Not like a... Not an example, but, like, he became, like, a statue when he was a freaking person. Like, and he just got passed around to everybody. Like, what the heck?
So I think he ended up getting shot and killed, I want to say in 1920s. So for 50 years he was being pushed around, traveled around.
Which is crazy. Well, and then you're like, oh my god, that is crazy that a body stayed like that. You know? Like, isn't that so weird? Because then you're think about the people in the ground. And they're kept in a cool, dark place. They're, like, preserved.
It is kind of weird.
Like, 50 years out on, like, with the natural of everything. That's weird.
You know what I think's kind of interesting is that when archaeologists look for civilizations, they, like, I think one of the top things they can find is a burial site because it shows civilization and culture and religion.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? We have them everywhere.
Well, yeah. Well, also, I guess I think it's part of humanity, too, because how do you just, like, toss them?
Yeah.
Like, that's so weird. But like, cremation, like, isn't accepted by everyone either.
I know, which is interesting.
This is so weird. Well,
I think the coolest one is the Nordic tradition where you get sent off in a sailboat.
That's cool.
I think that's...
On fire?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Technically cremation, but, like, way fucking cooler.
The other thing was...
Oh, hold on. By the way, that's the end of the episode. If you want to stick around, we're just going to talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Don't worry, you will hear the cornstalk story if you want to hang out.
I'm telling you, it is so funny. It's my absolute favorite.
But I know that some people with cremation is some religions believe that you'll come back to your body after, like, the rapture or after end of the world, quote unquote, happens.
I always found that interesting.
Like, if you could be brought back, you don't think somebody could just spruce you up a little bit? Like, liven you up?
I'd rather come back as a ghost.
Same.
Hell yeah.
Just walking through walls, just...
Yeah, dude, come back as a ghost.
Dude,
my body wouldn't hurt.
Freaking haunt your butt, just so you know.
You would haunt me?
If I died before you, I would haunt you so good. I'd be pranking you every single day if I could.
No, you wouldn't, dude.
Yes, I would. I'd tie your shoelaces together. You'd be old. You just freaking fall down. I'd be like... and then I'll just, like, pants you or something. I'll put, like, a chocolate bar underneath you after you sit down, then you stand up.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You would do that to me?
Yes.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Really? What would you do?
I would make your life easier.
Whatever. That's a bunch of baloney.
You come home to a clean house.
That's baloney, dude.
Dude. When you shower, I'd draw a dick on the mirror. So you'd come out and you'd be like, he was here.
That's what I'm saying. You would do stuff like that. You wouldn't... I would put little chocolate bars underneath your butt.
When you're watching TV and try to turn the volume up, I'd turn it down.
See?
And then when you turn it down, I'd turn it up.
See, that's what I'm saying. You would do exactly what I'm saying.
You're right. You're right.
Totally prank you. I wouldn't, like, ruin your sleep or, like, make you think I'm a freaking poltergeist. I would just be, like, pranking you, like...
That's exactly... I think that's what most ghosts think, maybe.
They're like, let me just scratch down your back.
I think if you do anything to me, I'll be like, we gotta cleanse this house out.
Dude, don't. You'll know it's me. I'll put a chocolate bar underneath your butt.
That's how I'll know?
Yeah. Or you would have shot yourself, either one. Which is both possibilities.
What would I do?
When you're that old.
What would I do to let you know that I'm there? I
hope you would draw a dick on my steamy window.
That'll be my signal, is I'll draw a dick on the window.
Yeah, window, mirror, wherever has condensation. You just have to let me know you're there.
The lawnmower will just push itself.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I want to hear it. I want to hear your story for the 100th time.
The corn stalk. Okay, you didn't sound too excited.
No, I'm joking.
If you're listening to
I've only heard it like 5 times.
5 times?
That's not that bad. We've been together for how long?
5.
5.
All right. This takes place on a dark, cool evening in October. I was 14, 15 maybe.
I think you were like 14.
14 or 15, somewhere
We
in there.
were dating when you were 15. Oh, when we were 15. I just like to clarify that we were both 15.
One of us was.
Just to clarify.
I think this might have been a month or two before you and I got together. Yeah.
So then I guess you were 15.
Maybe I was. Anyways,
yeah, November,
it's not
so it's only a month. It was. You're telling me this only happened a couple weeks before we started dating?
Maybe. Yeah, dude. I was holding hands with some random girl with stinky ass dog shit breath. Anyways. Let's get the story started. It's a cool October evening. You know, school's out. It's 8:30.
It's not. Oh, like school's out for the day.
For the day. It's dark out. It's a Friday night, and me and I think 5 of my friends were at the corn maze. And at this point, if you ever lived in Idaho in your whole life, there's 2 cross streets that are pretty big out here, over here in Boise. Overland and Eagle Road. So now there is a bunch of buildings there. There's damn, I never thought about it. There's a bunch of buildings there. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, damn, I sound like an old fart. Back in my day, there's a cornfield right there.
Farmstead.
The farmstead, that's what the hell it was called. Yeah, there's a farmstead
They're still around.
Yeah, but they're down out in Cuna, I think.
I know.
Anyways.
Oh, they had to put buildings up.
So that's where we were. We were there. So me and my friends, we were just hanging out, having a good time. And the sun finally had set. And we decide that we're going to go through the scary corn maze. So we get in line. Okay,
well, yeah, because you guys were there with dates, right?
No.
Oh.
We weren't there with dates. We were just hanging out. Oh, we ended up finding this
classy hoodlum little teenage boys.
Thinking back on... Anyways. We were in line and we were having a good time. And we look behind us and there's this group of girls. And we start looking at them. You know, we're like winking at them. Doing whatever the hell we're doing. And they're like, you guys are so funny. And we were like, hey, come on up. We're here. Looking back, I realized they just wanted to cut in line. But... I thought they wanted a whole lot more. Anyways, we all get paired up. Somehow there's an even amount of girls, even amount of guys. I'm holding hands with this girl named Kayanne. I remember her. And this will come into action later. Anyways, we're waiting in line. We're making these girls laugh. We're having a good time. And it's our turn to go through the scary corn maze. Now, if you've never been through one, it's essentially, I don't know, maybe a half mile long. And it's
a corn maze that people jump out at you.
Yeah, it's not really a maze. It's like a corn pathway. Where
literally how you just said, I don't know why people do this, you're doing it.
Yes. Yep, exactly. Anyways, so it's our turn to go. And I have my buddy Frank in front of me. We'll call him Frank because that's his fucking name. And we have Rylan. That's his name. And then I think we were there with Zan was his name also. I think that was all of us. There. Anyways, so we're walking through. At this point, Frank has never held hands with a girl or like done anything like that. Mom, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry.
You've already told her this. Okay.
She hasn't heard this part. I edit this part out for my family. So this came afterwards. Anyways, so we're walking through this dark corn maze, and I'm holding hands with this girl, Kayanne. And I'm looking over, I was like, she's got blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm like, fuck, my style, right? I'm like, damn, I like this girl. She starts breathing on my hand because it's cold out. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. And then I smell her breath. And I'm like, fuck me, dude. Maybe she might be a corpse. It smells so fucking bad.
Oh, this poor girl. Leave her alone.
Okay. Anyways, she's got horrible breath. I'm in the very back with Kayanne. In front of me, I see my Rylan, okay? He's holding hands with this short girl, and Frank is holding the hips of this short girl, walking sideways. He's wearing sweatpants, and he said he was walking sideways because he had a raging boner because he's never touched a girl before. So he put hands on her hips, and he was ready to roll. Zan had this other girl. I can't believe I had to say this. So
they kept their names in.
All right. Well, maybe their names aren't Frank, Ryan, or Zan. Anyways, we're going through, and Frank's okay. Mind you, Frank is walking sideways, trying to hold this girl that's walking straight. Okay. Mm-hmm. At a corner of my eye, I see some off to my left. I see a werewolf or something rustling in the corn stalks. Okay. And I'm holding this girl's hand, and I see it out of the corner of my eye, and this werewolf pokes through right directly to the left of where Frank is. And it pops and it jumps and it scares us, right? And we all jump. Well, Frank trips over himself, and right behind him, there's a perfectly angled corn stalk about 3 feet tall. Remember the sweatpants. Okay. He trips.
This is where you lose it.
He trips over himself. Okay. He trips over himself. Dude, it's so fresh in my mind. Still, he trips over himself and he goes to grab something, dude. He goes to grab something, but all he can find. I'm so sorry.
Miguel, literally, his eyes are about to burst out of his head.
It is so funny. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. So he gets tripped up. The werewolf scares him. He gets tripped up, and he's stumbling backwards, and he's looking for something to grab to hold because he's about to fall. It's muddy out. It's muddy. Mm-hmm. And there's this cornstalk perfectly angled right at his asshole. Right at his asshole. And he couldn't find anything in time. And he sits on this cornstalk and it goes up his ass, dude. Oh, fuck.
I think you don't. Every time we tell this story, I tell you you're gonna cry.
Dude.
And you're like, no, it's fine.
Okay, so, okay. I gotta get it right.
Miguel's getting it together.
So, imagine this. 15-year-old boy falls, sits on this cornstalk. And this is what he tells me afterwards. He said, there is no feeling I got penetrated by a cornstalk. Dude, hold on. I'm sorry, guys, if you're listening. I'm really trying to get through this.
We're gonna just take a breather real quick.
No, we're not.
Are you good?
I'm fine. And Frank said he got off the cornstalk after he said his body died. He felt the cornstalk enter him, and I physically saw his body just collapse. He just got Bill Cosby'd. Okay. And then he gets up and he tells me that he had to pull sweatpants out of his asshole because it was so deep in there.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Oh my gosh. You are ridiculous with this story, dude. My face hurts. My ribs hurt.
I think it's so funny.
It's because you were there. You gotta see the whole thing. Corn mazes, am I right? Damn.
So that's my story. You can let me know if you thought it was funny or not. Because I think it is, or maybe I just laughed too much. I don't know. But I think it's absolutely the funniest. I could do a short story about it. A short movie.
You could.
A 5-minute film.
Yeah. Your 5 minutes of fame right there.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Yeah. We missed you guys.
Yeah, we miss you guys. Actually, we got a comment on our video, or not our video, our
I was like, what video?
our podcast for our last week from Andrew on YouTube. I wanted to give him a shout out.
Oh, yeah?
He comments and likes all of our stuff on YouTube.
Oh, heck yeah.
And he said, glad you guys are back. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We're glad to be back. It really makes a difference for us.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. But, cool. Well, hopefully you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Because I know Miguel did.
Dude, I laugh so hard every time I tell that story. I don't know if it's that funny, but I laugh every time. Bye.
Bye.